to raweffect. This is a podcast we're trying to do. We've been co-workers for a while, and we always talk at work about like random stuff. And since Corona hit, we've been like working from home. We still talked over like the internet and stuff, but we never really like we're sitting in the office just having a coffee in the morning and just like chat things through. So we thought we might just start this podcast, talk about gaming in general, and then pop culture, whatever we feel like we should be talking about or want to talk about in the future when we actually have an audience. The inquiries from the fans, read questions out loud, discuss, kind of like that. That's Smokey.
Yeah, so Smokey is my kitten and he really loves playing with his cables, so we have to spray him in the face. I'm sorry for that. No. You can come to me actually. So yeah, guys, welcome to raweffect. This is our new podcast. He's Max. I'm BD, but people call me Benza in real life, but not on the internet, so you can choose how you call me. And yeah, we've been working together for 2 years now, and we always listen to all kinds of podcasts and talk about games and like similar topics. So we were like, hey guys, now we have some free time with Corona, might as well do a podcast and let's see how it goes.
Let's see how it goes.
And also, like, I think it's pretty unique that we are in the gaming industry, both of us, for years now, and I don't think there's actually many podcasts with people who are actually in the industry and they can talk about topics from inside, like how they see things when they work on things, and obviously they hear some rumors and stuff of which we can talk about, sadly, but you can still get like a different perspective compared to like regular streamers or regular gamers because they are on the other side of the thing. So I think that's pretty fun and pretty unique, so I hope you guys will enjoy.
Yeah, I mean, this episode acts more as an introductory podcast episode where we introduce ourselves, talk what we're planning to do with this in general, and just the outline of how we moving forward. Usually with these kind of podcasts, like you said, it takes a while to like get your groove. Usually it takes around like 30 episodes until we like really click. Just the biggest issue is the structure, try to release every week and then have like a cohesive structure so we get podcasts out and like have this kind of rhythm going.
And yeah, also like to adding to that, like this is a video right now, but since the corona makes it pretty hard to travel all the time, we may have just audio versions for a while and then we come back to video, but we wanted to start with like a video introduction so you can actually see us, see how it goes. Our setup right now is not the best. We just kind of put everything down and try to make it work. We only have one microphone, a small table in my flat because I have like a streaming setup, so it makes it kind of nicer. But we are sorry if it's not perfect.
Everybody starts off somewhere. I mean, Apple started out in a garage, so come on.
Maybe we'll become as big as Apple, right?
Yeah, Podcast Nation.
The first $1 trillion podcast, right?
Oh man, I'm gonna design our raweffect logos so nicely.
Yeah, at least we will have nice design, even though our podcast sucks. But so yeah, Max, let's talk about you. Introduce yourself.
Yeah, we both work at Crytek to begin with. I'm doing graphic design in the company for our marketing arm. I mostly play single player games. I'm playing like mostly also PlayStation games. I'm a huge trophy whore.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I start games, I try to usually go for 100%, which kind of ruins some games for me. Which, like, really, really good games. We'll talk about that later, like, for example, Resident Evil 2, like, there's some... yeah, I'm playing mostly that. I have Steam as well. I played Xbox for a long time. I had a lot of Nintendo consoles, and I mostly like single player, really narrative-driven stories, kind of stuff like that, which is more... the opposite of what you play, which is nice, so we don't have the same kind of viewpoints, so we actually have some friction and some arguments, which is always good, so you don't just get the same opinion from two people. But aside from that, I'm a graphic designer. I love to design, I love to draw stuff. I do photography. I'm getting into reading now, also into furniture. Yay, getting my house nicely cleaned and fixed up. I mean, God knows I'm spending a lot of time there right now. Yay, sure. Corona. I think that's pretty much it for me, like, in essence.
He's also really good at fashion, by the way. He's always the most fashion in the office. Yeah. With new clothes every day.
Fashion.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I buy way too many clothes. I'm getting better. I'm getting them secondhand now. So, yay, Planet.
Also, like, by the way, we both really like coffee. I don't know if you guys heard about, like, our name is raweffect, right? And this actually came from kind of meme that I found on the internet. And we, in the office at Crytek, we always started like screaming at each other and drinking the raw coffee. So yeah, so we will probably maybe in the future have like coffees on the set even and drinking coffee all the time. That would...
I could go for a coffee right now, yeah.
I actually even made coffee for him, guys. So
I'll have it later.
So yeah. Then I guess it's my turn.
Yeah, it's your turn. Who are you? Tell us everything.
So yeah, I'm Bense or BD boy or BD or whatever you want to call me. I actually studied economics like a few years ago, and I have a degree in economics, which I don't really use anymore unless like bit of the analytics and science side. But I am the social media manager at Crytek, which is a bit like a mixture of a community manager who also manages social media, I would say. And I've been there for 2.5 years now, I think, just now. So it's a bit longer than Max, not much.
Yeah, half a year.
And yeah, I basically handle all the Crytek channels, social media-wise, so Hunt, Crisis, the main Crytek channel,
Climb.
Robinson, Climb, Rise, all that. So that's basically my job, and then talking with the community, getting feedback and that sort of stuff. It's actually really fun and I really enjoy it.
Yeah, we work together a lot at the company.
Yeah, like me and Max every day together, we are planning like, hey Max, I need this asset so I can post on social media, and then he's like, yay, I have to prepare this asset in 6 different sizes and different versions for you.
Oh
Fun.
yeah, work. Hand it to me. I need more. Give me.
And I'm like, every day it's like, hey Max, we have this today, can you please prepare this? And then he's like, no, usually.
And then I come around and do it anyway because this mouth needs to get fed.
Yeah, so Max is a really nice person that helps him out a lot. And other than that, I actually stream on Twitch for like many years now. I sometimes don't stream anymore, sometimes stream. I also make some YouTube videos with gameplay and such, so you could say I'm a content creator, I guess, kinda. Not like micro level content creator, but it's really fun. So, and I play games, and as Max mentioned already, I play different games than him. Although we have some overlap, obviously, and
Yeah.
But I think the biggest difference is that I'm mainly a PC player. Like I play 99% of my games on PC, and then sometimes on PlayStation when I want to chill at the couch,
Yeah.
and then sometimes on my Switch when I'm like lazy to move. But yeah, I play on PC and a lot of multiplayer games. My main game for a long time was actually League of Legends, where I used to be like Diamond 2 and like in the university team and stuff, so I was like pretty good. I'm not so good anymore.
Is that your favorite game of all time?
I have like a love-hate relationship with League. I think like it's almost like a drug, kind of. Like you can't stop if you start playing.
I mean,
it.
a lot of players have that with World of Warcraft, right? Like every
Yeah.
time an expansion comes out, they go back. Or
Yeah.
like the what was it? World of Warcraft Classic came out.
Oh yeah, World
Yeah.
of Classic. Yeah, I actually maybe if you ask about my favorite game, it's maybe World of Warcraft.
Nailed it.
And I'm the typical player that plays an expansion, gets to max level, and then kind of just fades away.
Can you guess what my favorite game is? It's tricky, right?
Your favorite? Oh, I think Last of Us.
Ah, shit, you're right.
Yes.
Yeah, Bioshock is actually close second.
Oh really? Okay, so
Yeah.
Last of Us is because I think you said that Bioshock is like your favorite, and I just remembered. But
I think that's Bioshock might be the game that I've finished the most times overall throughout the years.
well, you just finish every game 20 times because you need the trophies.
I can't deny that. I think I finished Resident Evil 2 remake like 7 times for the platinum. But no, Bioshock 1 you can get the platinum with 1 run.
Wow.
But it like the game came out on, so I got it on Xbox 360. Like when it dropped, when it came out, I got it. But at that point, I wasn't really into achievements. I just tried to get like the obvious ones. I wasn't really like hunting them or anything. Then I switched from Xbox to PlayStation 3. I had both at the time, but then I just rebought Bioshock and then Bioshock 2 and Infinite. But at that point, I was so deep into the trophy hunting that I played all 3 and got all the trophies for them. But then I moved to Finland and got a Vita, but I made a separate account for the Vita, like a separate PlayStation account. But the trophies didn't sync, so that really messed me up. And then I deleted the old account, so I only have one streamlined one. But then I didn't have any of the platinum trophies for Bioshock. And at that point it was like 2012 or 2013 or something, and I just got them all again for PlayStation and platinumed them again. And then the Bioshock collection came out on PS4, so platinumed them again.
Wow.
And now the remasters come out.
Are you gonna play that as well?
Oh my god, I can't.
Like, I think that's also like a very big difference between us. Like, you play one game and then you play it like 20 times in 1 week or 2 weeks, and then you finish it completely and you're done. While I'm like playing 10 games at the same time, never having anything platted, like, or like on Steam 100%. I just don't care. I play multiplayer games. I like killing people in games.
I mean, that's most games, to
like
be honest.
PvP, like shooting heads and stuff, and like I really like story-based games as well, but I never care if I get the achievements or not. I just kind of finish the game if I enjoy it, like, which is not always. Like, I don't know, some games I just start, play like 5-10 hours, and I'm never playing it again.
Yeah, to be fair though, I've gotten better over the trophy thing.
Yeah,
whatever
sure.
that means. No, like, I try to platinum games that I actually do like. Like, if I start a game and I really can't, it doesn't jive with me, I don't try to go for the platinum and push myself through.
But is it true? Do you even have any games that you started and it's not platinum?
Ni no Kuni was one. But I think a big part of that was like right around when the PS4 came out and it wasn't backwards compatible. So I have like 2% on that and then just quit out. Like, the game is so charming and cute, but it's also like 100-hour investment or something. And at that point, I just wanted to like move on to the next consoles and stuff.
Yeah, but you're also not into PvP games at all, or multiplayer in general.
Yeah, no, multiplayer's not my thing at all. Like, the only trophy I don't have in The Last of Us are 2 multiplayer trophies, and it bugs me still. Because I played the game on PS3, I finished it like 4 or 5 times because you have to like finish it on normal difficulty, then on hard mode, then you unlock like the next mode, then you have to go back and get the collectibles. It's like, you can probably streamline it, but if you just play the game first for the experience, you miss a whole bunch of stuff. And then you have to like go back and like do these runs and collect and stuff.
So how many plat trophies do you have?
59 right now.
So you finished 59 games like completely, basically.
Yeah.
So on the PlayStation I have 1, which is pretty recent.
Spider-Man, right?
Yeah, Spider-Man.
Nice. But I still do better than you on Spider-Man. I got all the DLC trophies as well.
I haven't.
Yeah.
I'm just too lazy. I don't know. I like.
No, I get it. Like, the game is super fun. Spider-Man is great.
It's really fun.
Like, I played it also recently. I think you got me actually into it because you mentioned it's so good. So
Yeah.
I bought it myself and then played it. But I can see, like, you were missing for the longest time the one where you have to do all these street crimes. And they're really fun and cool when you like just do them on the go or you feel like them. But if you have like 20 or 30 left at the end of the game,
Oh, I think I had over 100. Like, I had
it's,
like.
it's just like you see that number and let's say it takes like 4 minutes, but you also have to swing around the city and all this.
Yeah, like stay in the exact zone and then just farm and grind and wait that to pop up. It's really annoying.
Yeah. So yeah, that's basically us in a nutshell. You also got the first conversation immediately spliced in. We're trying to get better with structure. We actually do have something in here, and I think we should actually move into that, which is ironic because it kind of feeds into the topic that we were talking about before. So,
Sure.
What are you playing right now?
Right now, I'm playing many games, as we said before. So I'm always playing a bit of League of Legends. That's like my side stuff. I usually just play with friends because there's like a weekly tournament called Clash. So we sometimes like play together on the weekend, which is super fun. But like other games, I play. I just started Dragon Age Origins because EA is moving games to Steam. So
Yeah, they do.
yeah, so it was like, hey, this game is 75% off for the Ultimate Edition, $5. I was like, wow, I never played that game, and I played 2 and Inquisition completely. So
What is in the Ultimate Edition?
I think it has like all DLCs, Awakening, whatever. I don't really know yet but it has everything.
I remember, I never played Dragon Age, but I remember that they had like a separate box for like Awakening. It was like some really cool blood dragon art thing.
Yeah, I think it's like a Witcher style DLC, like 50 hours.
Nice. I remember like back in the day when I played Oblivion or something, and they had like this Isle of Mist or something, and you had like this entire new mushroom map of like new NPCs and all this cool shit.
Oh man, I think Oblivion may be one of my all-time favorite games as well. I just used to play that game so much when I was younger.
Oh man, when I was younger, I got so lost in that game, like literally and figuratively, because I think I walked into like one of these Oblivion gates and got completely lost. Like I had no idea.
Those were so annoying, actually, to be honest.
Yeah. What else?
Yeah. So other than that, I'm actually playing Kingdom Hearts because of you. I got Kingdom Hearts from Max, like she just landed it to me to play it, and I'm like, I don't know, I have like 20 hours in, I don't know, halfway through, 15, 20?
Yeah, 20 something, so yeah, it's about like 50 or something, and then you have to add like 30 or something more for the platinum, like just grinding some materials and stuff.
Yeah, but it's pretty fun as well, and I play it a lot. But I now should started Bioshock because it was also on sale, so I have that now on PC.
But you didn't start it yet, did you?
Yeah, I started it. I played like 2-3 hours.
How far did you get?
I don't know.
Like where are you at exactly?
Well, I don't know.
You already did the lighthouse. You already went down.
Yeah, I went down. Like I already like met like big daddies and stuff. And
oh, so
still kind of introduction part, but like.
Did you get out of the first Big Daddy thing?
Well, I don't know.
Like, did you go into one?
Okay, I can exactly tell you where I am. I went into a room where I was logged in, and then they played a video from this guy who made this place. And then a lot of people came, and I just went through the door.
You went down the staircase with like some water, and they dropped in the water. You used the electric balls, and then you fled from them.
Yeah, and that was like a big cutscene.
You finished the introduction.
Yeah.
Now the game begins. You're in the something pavilion, like medical pavilion or something.
Like you know the game by heart. That's crazy.
I played it like a billion times. Dude,
Jeez.
The game is so good. Actually, oh man, should I get it again?
Yeah, I mean they just released a patch for PlayStation, I think, like a huge patch for, I think maybe it's only for the Pro, but they increased the resolutions and stuff.
It can be my 60th platinum.
Well, you need it for the remaster, I think. You have to play that and then.
No, I'll stay strong.
And then you have like 3 platinum in the same game, or?
No. If the game comes out again, they get a new list.
Yeah, but is it the same trophies still, or?
Yeah.
So you get the same again with 2 platinums for the same game?
Yeah, basically you'd re-earn the same trophies that you did before, but on a different list. Because it's like not Bioshock, it's Bioshock Remastered. So they get like a separate list.
Interesting. Yeah, I actually played Bioshock Infinite, like completely.
Infinite's great as well. It's not as good, like it has so many flaws.
I enjoyed it a lot though. Like it was like what, 10 years ago?
Did you play System Shock or Thief or something before?
I played Thief after.
Yeah, so Bioshock is one of those games that are called immersive sims. It's basically you walk through a space and you can use a whole bunch of tools and different mechanics to approach like issues with like different ideas and strategies and stuff. Like good example of the most recent one is I think Deus Ex Human Revolution.
I think that's
wait, Mankind Divided. Yeah, you're in Prague and you have like this open map and you have like a bunch of tools at your disposal. I think that's what Cyberpunk is aiming for as well, 2077.
Oh my god, I'm so excited for Cyberpunk.
I'm really excited for that one too. It's gonna be like such a time sink. I can see this game being bigger than Red Dead Redemption 2, to be honest.
Well, you haven't played Red Dead. It's really good.
That game is so massive. It's so daunting.
Guys, like he has this problem that he can't start a game because he knows that it's too big of a time investment, and if he doesn't have the plat, then he just can't play it. So it almost like eliminates games that he won't try because he wouldn't get the plat.
Like I said, it got better over the years, but still a problem.
Because for me, it's like, hey, this cool new game, let's play 3 hours. It was fun and never play it again. And
I actually have a funny thing about Kingdom Hearts as well that we can get into later in the news.
Sure.
So, is that everything, or do you have more games?
Oh well, yeah, I actually have the Sims, which I got into right now again because they released a new expansion, Eco Lifestyle, I think it's called.
Yeah, Eco Lifestyle, I think.
Yeah, and it's actually really cool.
Yeah.
I really enjoy it, and I made my flat like exactly the same in The Sims, and my cat and everything. So I'm having a lot of fun with.
But you did that now, or did you do that before?
No, I did it now actually. I had nothing to do with the expansion, but the expansion is like all about like saving nature and.
I really can't get into this stuff. Like I don't know why, but these games are like really not my thing. But my ex had The Sims, I think 3 or 4. No, she had 3, and I got her 4 for Christmas, and she built like us as well. And it was so weirdly accurate because like me as a sim was just like drawing in his underwear in the apartment and then went on the toilet and had like creative sprees, and the entire building was covered in like weird art.
Yeah, I mean, once like when I was still in university, The Sims 4 was already out. It's been out for a while, and then I made all my flatmates. And we just watched The Sims, like, kind of like just do their own thing, and it was so creepy that they actually did, like, moved and did the exact same things we would.
It's crazy, right?
Yeah.
Oh man, you wonder if they're listening to you. No, but yeah, I was basically, I think I was drawing or reading or something along those lines, and every few minutes I heard my ex just screaming like, "Oh my god, your sim is doing this and I'm doing this." It's like,
oh yeah.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, but like, you know, The Sims is like a game where you don't really have to think about stuff. It's more like just chill and you can build and like get some money.
Yeah, it's like yeah, you build stuff like Sim City as well. You just
actually my favorite genre of games is city building games.
City building
and management games. Yeah. Like I really like RPGs and all these kind of games, but if I had to like choose like one thing I could play forever is like city building, survival kind of game where you can like build your own base, make a city, something like that, where you can manage stuff and like evolve with time. So City Skylines, I have like 500-600 hours in because I just build cities.
I don't know if I have like a super favorite genre. I like narratives a lot, but it's not tied to like racing games or like visual novels or third-person shooters, first-person shooters. I think as long as the narrative's cool, the environment's cool, I'm pretty much hooked.
I think you just like story-based games.
Yeah, kind of. I mean, I'm totally forgot. I'm like really big into movies as well. I'm like watching the Oscars every year and like discuss it with other people and watch a ton of reviews and all this stuff. So yeah, I'm really like narrative is why I play games in the first place.
Yeah, that's also a good point. You actually know all about the MCUs and the little funny details about like little movie secrets, how they recorded this scene, and it's so exciting, right?
Do you remember when we were talking about the Matrix, how they how they did the backflip thing?
Yeah, he was like showing me how they set up like a lot of cameras around and how they showed.
Yeah, they were basically Keanu was bending towards the back with a stabilization in his back, and they had like a green screen going in circles with like multiple cameras. So they shot like every frame of the entire scene with a different camera and added the city skyline in the background. It's actually really interesting.
Yeah, it's really cool stuff. But like overall, about movies, I'm like more of a casual kind of movie watcher, not like you. I watch a lot of series, but movies, I think I missed out on a lot of movies, and I really love movies, but I'm just not so like super invested to go to the cinema if something new comes out.
I mean, nobody is right now.
Yeah, true. No, like, are cinemas even open right now? I don't think so.
I don't think so either. I think they have like a new rule in which they have to leave like spaces open between the seats and then in the rows or something. I think there's like something.
That doesn't sound so fun to go.
Well, it's about the experience, right? Like I don't go to the cinema very, very, very often. Only for like very special movies. Like for example, I watched 1917 last year. There's like this crazy bombastic First World War movie from Sam Mendes, the dude who did James Bond, Skyfall, and Spectre. And he had like this really one-shot approach, and it felt very much like Dunkirk. Did you see that? From Christopher Nolan, like something like that. And everything's just like the soundscape around you, the massive screen. That was like totally worth it. Something like that you have to watch in the cinema. Also Endgame of Avengers.
Okay, Endgame was like, I think that's maybe the last movie I've seen in the cinema.
The way the people just cheered around you when stuff happened, it was so amazing.
Yeah, that was definitely a really cool experience actually. Like people like cheering and clapping or like cringing on some scenes.
I like the movie overall a lot.
I think that was my favorite Marvel movie actually. But it was like
Yeah, it just moves from like it's basically just revelation after oh my god, so much fan service. That movie is so good.
Like
It's
all
so
the
fun.
stories end and everything is like together, and
It's such
even
a
the main
nice
story.
bow tie on everything.
Yeah, I agree. I think I really liked it because I know like a lot of people actually preferred Infinity War.
Really.
But yeah, they were like, "Oh, Endgame is okay, it's good, but not as good as Infinity War." But for me, it was like, "Hey, Endgame is like the best movie out of like all."
I think
I loved it so
the
much.
difference is Infinity War has so much more action if you think about it, because throughout the movie there's like all these action scenes, like when these they have smaller team ups, like Cap finds Wanda, and Tony has to fight with the alien dudes in New York, and then they go on the
Yeah.
spaceship, and then they have fight the Guardians. So they meet all for the first time, which is also interesting. But if you think about it, like in Endgame is technically 3 different movies in one. Like the entire first act is everybody being depressed,
Oh, yeah,
and they try to
depression.
like work towards a new goal to like save everybody and like getting along again. It's really really dour and depressing in the first act.
True.
Then the second one is a heist movie, and then the third one is like an all out war.
Oh my god, that war scene is so cool.
And if you really really think about it, like from the first act till the climax at the end, like how many fight scenes are there? I think there might be only one between Cap and Cap.
Yeah, maybe. Like, I can imagine that people don't like it as much because it's not like full of action. But I feel like the whole movie was just so immersive.
I
and,
love
like,
Endgame. Endgame is amazing.
Yeah, it was like so immersive. Like, I've like all the conversations, the acting, everything I liked. I think it was just like a really good ending to that whole series.
Yeah, a new story came on recently in which like Chris Evans was asked if he would ever come back as Cap, and he said like it's probably not a good idea because like we ended it on such a good note, on such a high note that
Yeah.
it would like do the character a disservice if they would like shoehorn him back or something. Like if they do another like prequel or weird time heist movie, have him in there as a cameo.
I mean, yeah.
That's fine, but like don't bring him back into the current time.
Also, like, you know what's interesting? That this movie actually, I think, had a really good, like, ending. But a lot of other, like, series or movies, they just somehow mess up on the last episode or the last part of the series. And it's always, like, bad and disappointing and ruins everything. Even Mass Effect, hello? Like, even games, right? Like, they just messed the ending up or the follow-up. But, like, I feel like Endgame really tied everything so nicely together and it was so well done that...
In a lot of games, like the endings are especially weird because games in a certain way are just a slow building climax, and then the end is always like some big end boss that sometimes does like the game disservice. Like for example, well, I don't want to talk about that game because it's gonna be a spoiler. But like in a lot of Uncharted games, you have like this weird end find which feels completely out of place. And especially for Uncharted because Naughty Dog builds like these crazy narratives and they are like closely compared to Hollywood movies. And I don't know, like you can end them way better. Like Last of Us ends so beautifully, and you don't have like this big fight with like one big super mutant or something.
True. I actually just finished last Uncharted 1.
Uncharted 1.
Yeah, like not so long ago, and the last boss fight was indeed a bit weird.
It's a bit weird, yeah,
Yeah.
I agree.
And it was really annoying. I almost stopped playing when I had to like retry 20 times because like there were like even like you have to figure out where the enemies come exactly and how to hide. I don't know, it was just weird
The
overall.
second one is much worse.
I haven't played this. I have only played 1 and 4 at this
Uncharted 2 is my favorite Uncharted game, but the end boss is so tough, especially if you like aim for the platinum and you have to play it on the hardest difficulty. My god, that boss is so ridiculously hard.
Maybe I think I will get the collection. Although, like, you know, like a lot of people got Uncharted collection for free, and we here in Germany, and I think another country.
Maybe
didn't get
Europe,
it.
I don't know.
No. All Europe got it except Germany.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, we got Neck 2.
Yeah, I don't even know. Never even heard of that game, honestly. I'm sorry.
Neck 1 was a PS4 launch title, and it did well enough because there was nothing out on the console. Like, the last generation of consoles basically launched without backwards compatibility. So you only had like the Assassin's Creed Black Flag or something
Well,
that was like on both consoles because they released 2. But yeah, there was like this massive drought in the beginning. Like a lot of indie titles were stretching over the time between like big AAA games. and I think the game sold better, way better than it should have because of that. And for some reason, like it was Mark Cerny's brainchild, like the head of technology and stuff at Sony, and he got to make a second game, and I still don't understand why. Second game is way better than the first. But
So you actually got it for free? I didn't even
no,
bother.
I didn't
to be
bother.
honest.
The design is just, I like visually the game just it
Yeah.
looks unappealing to me. I don't know why.
Yeah, I mean, I was like, hey, we get Uncharted finally, because I just got into the whole series. I mean, I played 4 randomly because I actually only got a PlayStation like 2 years ago, which was pretty much the end of the cycle already, like very much like towards the end, because now we are really at the end of the cycle.
Yeah, it's
But
getting close to the end.
yeah, so I mean, it's pretty late, not super much the end, because before that, I think the last console, other than like Wii U and like Nintendo consoles, the last one I had was PlayStation 1. So I went from PS1 to PS4 basically, so I skipped all those games.
I had PS1, 2, 3, and 4, and I'm gonna get the 5.
And
as
you
well.
have Vita as well, yeah.
Yeah, I had the PSP and the Vita. The Vita I still
PSP.
have. I still play Vita games actually.
Yeah, so I have to like kind of catch up on all these old games. Now I finished The Last of Us as well this year.
I think The Last of Us might have been one of the most important games. Yeah.
It was really good. Although, yeah, to be fair, I started it 2 years ago. I played a bit and then I kind of got bored and stopped. But now I picked it up this year again, and now I enjoyed it way more for some reason. Now I actually got through it and finished it.
Yeah, the Last of Us is really hard to get into. I'll tell you that because like the narrative is amazing. Like straight up, it's like really, really, really good. It like gives you like heartaches. It's
Yeah.
really good and tense as hell. But like gameplay wise, I remember when I wasn't hyped for the first one at all. I knew it was from Naughty Dog. I love Naughty Dog because of everything they did before. Well, aside from the early PC games, which I never tried. But since Crash Bandicoot, Jack and Daxter, Uncharted, like I loved them.
They're really
I had
good
no
games,
idea
yeah.
what to expect. I saw like one trailer from the Game Awards. I never bothered to like look up any further information just to stay like out of it, so I won't be spoiled. I didn't watch anything from The Last of Us 2 as well. I saw like the first 2 trailers. Yeah, I didn't hear any of the leaks. I didn't watch the presentation. I didn't watch like the live trailer. I know they're out there. I just don't click on them.
Yeah, it's funny because I even like called him like, hey, have you seen those spoilers? What do you think?
That was one of the weirdest conversations ever.
And then I kind of had to like talk to him about a topic which I can't spoil, but still get his opinion. So I had to like.
We talked for half an hour
Yeah.
around the fact of, hey, so this thing happens, but it's not a thing I should mention, so I'm not gonna mention it. But at some point, this one thing happens, and it changes the story in a way that it's weird.
Basically.
Okay. It was weird, yeah.
And then he's like, oh, if this is like this, then I'm really happy about this, or I'm really sad.
Yeah. I mean, you knew at least the leaks, so what was happening. I was
Yeah,
just
I knew
sitting there and
everything.
spitballing, like, so what you mean is, so how I envision it in my head is like this and this, and you were like, I can tell you. It was
Because I really didn't spoil anything, but just like,
yeah, I still have no idea.
Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to this.
when is it coming out? It's actually pretty soon,
I
right?
think 17th.
This month. So
Yes.
it comes out right now. It's the 7th. So I don't know when you're watching this. Right now it's the 7th. So maybe in 10 days. Maybe this is not even out and Last of Us 2 is out. So if it's out, we hope we loved it already.
Yeah, if it's actually 19th.
19th. Okay, that's 2 weeks basically.
Yeah, I mean, time's ticking. All right, so you were talking about what you were playing, and then drifted off massively into like a massive discussion,
Yeah, true. So what you are playing, right?
which is way more compact and easier because I'm only playing one game right now, which is Dragon Quest 11, and
that's
it looks amazing.
You're playing it on the PlayStation. right?
Yeah, I'm playing it on PlayStation. Like I have this weird rule in which I want to work on my PC, because if I start playing on like a Mac or a PC or something, I will get
Mac.
nothing done anymore. Nothing. Because I will be distracted all the time. So I kind of differentiate it. Like when I get home, I have my bed, I have my TV, I can like put some pillows in my back and then just game.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Makes
it's just the way I kind of like OCD it. But I'm like 20 hours in right now. I have no idea how far I am.
What happened? Like I also played that game, but on the Switch with the definitive.
I
edition.
just got into the Venice City thing.
That's the first big city?
So I'm out of the capital.
Oh, the
It's right after the Sand City, the Sahara thing.
Well, I can tell you where I am, kinda.
Oh, you played it as well.
Yeah, I just played randomly, like on the Switch. But like right now, I went to this city where there was this bathhouse, and I met this little girl, and.
Oh yeah, I'm further than you actually.
Okay.
Yeah, the bathhouse is when you go through the portal in the beginning, right?
Yeah, I can't remember anymore. It was like half a year ago.
Yeah, I have no idea how long this game is. I heard from a lot of people like
long.
halfway through you actually meet the villain or whatever for the first time, and then like the entire game world changes and you like kind of have to like redo some things. I have no idea what's happening, but yeah, I don't know. Like the game is super charming. All the enemies are adorable as
So
hell.
cute.
The more party members you get, the more options you have. Like in the beginning, it's very bare bones because you only have 2 people and you have like a limited amount of attacks. So it's like really boring. But the more people you get, the more functions you have, the more you can explore. The more there's just like it adds and adds and adds more stuff to your disposal. Right now I have I think 5 party members.
Oh, already, wow.
Yeah.
Well, I have 4, right? The little girl, the blonde girl, and my other guy.
Yeah,
friend, so-
I got 1 more than you.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think there's 2 more left, at least from the cover art. But yeah, the game is supposed to be like super massive. So the thing that distracts me the most is you go into towns and you don't spend a lot of time in them, I feel like. Because like the quest lines in these towns are just abruptly over.
But do you also do like the side quest? Like
Yeah.
of course.
Yeah, but there's like 2 side quests or something in every city as far as I can tell so far. And they're somewhat straightforward and you can do them or not. And then you do like the one main quest, which is usually like go into like a tiny dungeon so far and then just find a boss enemy, defeat him, and then you immediately either teleport back to the city or you have to walk back and then you move on to the next city. Like there's not multiple things where you have to like go there first and do this and then do this and then do this. It feels very much like in and out. And I think there's a lot of cities in this world. This is probably why you only spend so much time in these specific cities.
It's
But,
it's actually like like the whole series, like Dragon Quest. I don't think it was so popular in like Europe, right?
No.
This game is like the first game that like really got like.
The last proper Dragon Quest on consoles was Dragon Quest 8 on PlayStation 2.
Okay.
I played that actually way back in the day. That is a really nice game as well. It's like it holds up so well. I think they recently re-released it on Nintendo DS, I think.
Could be.
And yeah, 9 is completely on DS, I think. 10 is a MMORPG, and then 11. Yeah,
Didn't even
11
know.
is the first one that's like a main series title with high-end graphics in their style. And that's on like the current consoles.
Yeah, but even like I think like this, like the whole series is like a huge deal in like Japan, right? People love this stuff.
I think it's the biggest RPG series in Japan.
And we basically don't even hear about it much until now. Now I'm starting to become a fan of it because it looks super. It's like Pokemon mixed with like some RPG, right?
Yeah, it's the brainchild of the dude who created Dragon Ball Z. The entire art style
Well,
is like
love
based
Dragon
on
Ball,
that.
yeah.
That's why like the Dragon Ball dragons look exactly same.
Fat and cute, yeah.
The dude has a massive fetish with dragons. Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Quest.
Yeah, and now I'm playing Dragon Age, right?
Yeah.
Which has nothing to do with it, but
Yeah, you should watch Rick and Morty. There's a dragon episode as well.
in the last season.
Yeah.
Yeah, I am not there yet.
It's super awkward. You should watch it. Alright, so basically that's what we're playing right now. I'm gonna continue with Dragon Quest, which will take me forever. Yay, platinum.
Yeah,
Hopefully it's gonna be my 60th.
but actually I still have one thing about Dragon Quest. I also have a game called Dragon Quest Builders
Oh.
on the Switch, and it's actually really good because as I said, I love building games, and that game you build farms and buildings.
Yeah,
and
it's like
stuff, so-
Minecraft but cuter, right?
Minecraft with Dragon Quest, kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really fun, and I actually put in a lot of hours.
Yeah, I was considering getting it on the Vita back in the day, but I never really got around to it.
I think it's like that's probably the first one, right? And this is Dragon Quest Builders 2.
I think there's a 2, definitely, yeah.
And it's really good, so if you haven't checked it out.
If you really like some chibi designs and stuff, like World of Final Fantasy is really cute as well. It's like all the Final Fantasy characters from the main series, and you play like 2 different teenagers, and you can like stack them on your head with like the monsters and stuff. It's like adorable, but also really, really fun to play.
Yeah, but like in those kind of games, you don't really build stuff, you know. I need farming, and I don't know what's with me. I really like growing things and.
That's why you live on the countryside.
I'm living pretty far from Max actually. He traveled like 2 hours today to be here, so thank you, Max.
You're welcome. I think it was like 1.5. Yeah, I'm living way closer to the office.
So just so you guys know, we are in Frankfurt, or not right now, but he lives in Frankfurt. We work in Frankfurt, and I'm like right next to Frankfurt, basically.
Yeah, it's not that far away.
No, it's.
You can totally do it like in the morning if you have like a good book or something. You can get through some stuff. Yeah, I was drawing in the train, but I was considering bringing the book. That would have been also a good alternative.
Or if you have a Switch, you know, with Dragon Quest Builders too.
Or Vita.
Yeah, true.
Anyway, let's move on to the next topic. So, in the news, what happened, like the biggest things that happened over the last couple of days?
Much. And again, this is June 7th right now.
Yeah, so
maybe this is like...
Yeah, outdated
old news, but let's talk about it still.
Yeah,
what do you have for us, Max?
So the first topic is that the PS5 event got delayed again. So we haven't heard anything from PS5. We know the specs with the Mark Sony Power Hour. We know what the controller looks like. We know its functionality-ish.
It's like, guys, it's like this.
No, that's...
Made a child with this. And then that's the new controller.
I think it looks pretty.
I mean, I didn't like the white and black design that much. But I think if it was like one color, like black or white...
I think I really need to know how it feels. Like, the PlayStation 3 controller was so bad. Because... Do you know why?
No idea, because I never had a PlayStation 3.
So, the PS2 controller was like unanimously, people liked it. It wasn't great, but it was good enough. Yeah. Then they created this new controller which looked like a banana in silver. It was like some boomerang thing. It looked really futuristic, but like was probably really terrible to hold.
I don't think I've even seen that, because the PlayStation 1 and 2 almost looks like this.
Yeah,
like, exactly.
I show you later.
Yeah. Cool.
But then they scrapped that idea in the last minute and made the PlayStation 2 controller into a PlayStation 3 one. And that's why it's like, if you hold it for a long time, it's not big, it's not heavy, and at some point like your hands feel really bad when you play with it over a long period of time. That's why this one is like so much bigger and heavier. Like this one just has a heft to it and it feels really good.
Have you ever held an Xbox One?
Yeah, of course.
I think it's more comfy actually. Like I really like the DualShock, like the 2 buttons, but how it feels in your hand is a bit better.
Yeah, I like both of them. Like one, like the 360 controller is really good as well. I think this one is like a slight improvement, but they're both good. I don't prefer one over the other.
But I like the layout of PlayStation more, but the overall comfort of the Xbox more.
Yeah.
So I prefer the 2 sticks down, and but like the whole like how it fits in your hand.
I actually prefer it the other way around, to be honest. Ironically, yeah.
That's
I like this more than this for some reason.
Really?
But yeah, the. But the new controller looks like so much bigger now and heftier, and I really need to like just see it and feel it. But I think it'll do well. And to be honest, like there's probably gonna a whole bunch of colors and whatever in the future.
Yeah, for sure.
So you don't have to worry about the white too much.
I hope they also will have a feature when you can customize your own, like Microsoft has. I would be so happy to have like my own controller with my name on it and stuff.
Yeah, if Sony would be doing that, that would be really smart of them.
Yes, Sony, like, I hope you're listening right now.
Yeah, probably not.
You would sell a lot of controllers like that.
They definitely.
Yeah.
I think it's mostly depending on their backend, to be honest, because they have to set up like a pipeline, and depending on how they build these controllers, like it's easy because Xbox already planned for it, right? So they can just change faceplates and stuff quickly.
Yeah, but they even have your name on it. I don't know if you can see it. Will it ever focus? No, because our faces are in the, but maybe you can see it. Like I have my name there, and it's like my colors.
Neat.
Yeah, he's like, wow, you have your name there.
No, I've been on the customized store page for the controllers, and they're really cool. Like you can do so much.
And it's not even super expensive. Like a controller is like 60 euros or US dollars or whatever. But this was like 79, like 20 more.
Yeah, again, if Sony does that, that would be really smart of them.
For sure.
But again, like, only 2 things have been revealed so far, and like they were kind of like really weirdly shed out. Like the Power Hour, they announced that it will like to be the future of gaming, but then they just bored everybody to death. Nobody knew what it meant. They had to like have a follow-up confirmation email where they actually doubled down and confirmed things because nobody knew what they were talking about in the first place.
Yeah.
The controller is literally just an image, so nobody knows how big it is, how it holds, and now they announced that they're gonna have the event and they like immediately quit out of it again.
But to be fair, I think it was a good decision how like things are going on right now in the world with like there's a lot of stuff going on right now, especially in the US. So
Yeah.
I feel like I think they deleted because of that, right?
I don't know. Yeah, especially with the US.
Yeah, I think that's the main reason because like okay, maybe they would have delayed it anyway because they are not ready or they have something to hold back. But I'm pretty sure the main reason is like the protests and riots and stuff going on in the US, and they want to like put the focus on that more and not like, hey guys, we are here with the PlayStation
it'll
stuff.
be like swept up in the news and it'll drown.
Yeah, so I feel like that's why not just them, but like other things are also delayed, which.
And to be fair, why take a focus away from the things going on right now, right? That probably definitely needs more.
It's more important to be
Exactly.
honest. Like, I feel like a lot of companies and a lot of people are like actually putting the focus on something that actually matters right now. And
Yeah, it's good to like take a breather and just like let the world actually focus on an important topic for once.
exactly, and hopefully like we can get all together finally and
I think
in the world.
the PS5 is definitely gonna release this year. Like I had my doubts in the beginning, but like Xbox keeps pushing and PlayStation, like if they would have wanted to delay it, they could have, because so little information was out in the first place. But since they had like the tech talk and released the controller image, I don't think they can pull back anymore.
Wasn't the last time I heard it was that it's releasing in October, right?
That was like a supposed leak.
And is
Is
there any new?
I don't think that got confirmed. Like the latest leaks about PlayStation 5 were all just surrounding the event itself.
Okay.
Like there were a bunch of leaks over the last couple of weeks that this event is actually happening on the 4th, but then it got confirmed and got delayed.
Yeah.
Alright, so speaking of delays, the Cyberpunk reveal that they had planned is also delayed.
Is this I think it's also the same reason probably.
Might be the same reason, yeah.
I think they are almost done with. Like they were pretty upfront about the game, right? Like, hey guys, we have to delay it again and again because we want to make sure that it's ready and we want to make sure it's good. So I guess, like, that's not the issue. They would have just said they delayed because of that, right?
I think they only delayed the game once in total. I don't think they delayed it multiple times.
Oh,
It
okay,
was supposed to release in February, and then they said they just need more time. And to be fair, like, it's what did Miyamoto say? You can only release a game
once.
badly once, and it'll be
Yeah.
forever bad. But if you wait on it, eventually it'll be good.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think.
I mean, nowadays it's not that true anymore. I mean, look at Rainbow Six Siege. The game launched as a train wreck, and now it's like one of the biggest esports.
Well, I
ever.
think like especially like seeing how it works from the industry, right? Like developers and like coders or whatever, like all teams are usually pushed from every direction because they have like deadlines to hit from like inside or outside. Like even like obviously like you have deals with like Sony or Microsoft that, hey guys, we are releasing this game like that day, and you have this date like half a year before you are even there. And obviously as things happen always, you are always a bit later,
I mean,
then you kind of have to do it.
Look at the Corona thing right now. Nobody expected that to happen, and it like definitely pushed a lot of things backwards, especially for the movie industry and also games.
Oh my god, movies, poor guys there. They don't have a good time with the corona. But the gamers, and I think game companies in general have a pretty good time, except like
I mean,
Sony right now.
what do you do when you're at home, right?
You play games, right?
Yeah, or watch Netflix. So streaming services are doing well as well.
Oh yeah, I heard that there was a bunch new actually, which like try to like, for example, Zoom. The Zoom is like Skype or Discord or whatever. It's like that, but it's like video chat. And they actually became like okay, I'm not sure, but like I think $1 billion company just because of the virus.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean,
everyone started using it. Maybe you haven't heard of it, but it was really popular due to the virus.
no, I mean it makes sense. Like if something like this happens on an economic scale worldwide, like there's a lot of power shifts and dynamics that are gonna be switched. So I can totally see like a lot of companies that were kind of underdogs were just rising up because they were capable of adjusting to the current climate and actually benefiting from it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but yeah, Cyberpunk. I honestly like. Do you want to see more?
I to be honest, I don't like. I'm okay with what they showed, and like I just want the game. To be honest, I don't need more spoilers. I don't need more trailers. I don't care. I just want to play it. So
I mean, their plan was originally to release in February, so everything they put out before that should have been enough already. I think
Exactly.
what they're doing now is just trying to figure out what they do between the time of it releasing and re-releasing.
do we know when it releases now? What's the date?
September or something.
So June, July, August. So it's still like 3 months away.
Yeah, I think they're like been quiet for so long. They're ramping up the hype train again. But I really feel like personally, I'm sold. I don't need to see more.
Yeah, I don't mind.
At
either.
Gamescom last year, I saw like the demo that they released later on the internet, and I mean it's not groundbreaking what they showed off, to be honest.
Yeah, but it was a year ago.
But the game has such a cool flair and such a cool style, and you kind of just want to like be in the world.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sold. Like
I mean, if it's anything like The Witcher 3 in a different universe, then I'm
And-
already sold, right?
and they're doing more Witcher stuff as well. They already announced that they
Oh.
have future. They're planning on the next Witcher game.
Yeah,
as
in
well.
like what 5 years?
If they need that time, let them. If
I
they
mean,
give
yeah,
us
sure.
if they give us that kind of quality, I'm totally fine with it.
Yeah, so yeah, I'm really looking forward to the game. I don't care when they release it. I don't even care if they delay it again. To be honest, I would rather have it like a really good game as soon as it comes out, and just have no like drama around it. Like every game that releases, that these critics hate it, these people hate it. Oh, this does that, and like just drama overall. No, I just want like a solid game that everyone likes and everyone is happy. And if they have to delay to achieve that, I'm okay with that.
I don't think they can really delay anymore.
Like, wasn't The Witcher 3 really buggy when it released, actually?
I didn't buy that release because I didn't. I don't know.
I think when it came out, it was really hard to play it, even.
Huh.
But then over time, it got really good, and then they released, like, expansions and stuff that were also, like, so high quality compared to
Yeah.
everything else. So,
I played The Witcher like to death. I have the platinum and all the DLC trophies and everything. Like I love The Witcher.
I
It's
still
such a
haven't
good
finished
game.
the last Blood and White. But I finished everything else, okay?
Yeah, if you do everything in a row, like the game gets really exhausting towards the end because it's just so much content, so much good and great and really
So
really
good.
dope content, but still a lot.
And also, like, it's like combat feels a bit like outdated, I would say, almost. Like, it feels a bit basic.
If you have Igni and then the second thing where you like have the flamethrower, everything is pointless and you
Yeah, I
just-
don't actually do that, so.
It's,
I never use alchemy either.
Speaking of leaks, so The Last of Us 2 leaked early again, and some people have the first copies of the game already.
Wow.
But
I haven't actually looked at the leaks, the new leaks, so.
according to PlayStation, it didn't matter because the pre-orders for The Last of Us 2 are higher than the Spider-Man PS4 pre-orders,
Wow.
which is insane if you think about it.
Yeah, I would always. Like, The Last of Us is like a super big and popular game, right? But I feel like the theme is a bit like. It's a bit more niche. Like, it's not for that many people like Spider-Man, which is like for everyone, right?
It's very mature.
Exactly. So it's shocking that that actually happened.
Yeah, so as a, like, I don't know, as a comparison, Animal Crossing sold, like, I think last time I checked 14 million copies, the New Horizons one.
Yeah, that's
I think
decent.
the only franchise out of PlayStation that, like, somewhat comes close is Uncharted, I think, that also sold 14 million, but I think Spider-Man sold more, because it has to. Because honestly, like, Spider-Man is such a massive brand, and people just buy these games like
And-
crazy.
Don't we have anything about Red Dead? Wasn't that some record-breaking? Although it's not PlayStation only, but like overall.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, honestly, everything out of 2K sells like bonkers.
Although that it was only console, right? It just came out to PC not so long ago.
I think, was it a year later?
Yeah, it came out this year, right? I think it came out this year.
All right,
like
so
January or February.
last year in August, Spider-Man PS4 sold over 13 million units already
Okay.
worldwide. So it definitely sold over 14 million, definitely 100%, because the MCU is praising Spider-Man like crazy. Everybody loves him. Everybody loves the comics. It's such a big appeal to everybody. Like, I mean,
Wait, then they said The Last of Us already sold more in pre-orders than the whole Spider-Man game in all
no. Then Spider-Man pre-orders.
Okay, that makes more sense because otherwise it would be bonkers.
That would be insane.
And do we know how much you read that? Like, I would actually be interested now. That
Lifetime sales?
yeah,
I can
read
look
that
that
too.
up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I remember that it had like the biggest, maybe not weekend launch or something like that. I'm pretty sure I heard the news around it, like, hey, Red Dead 2 broke all records of like launching a game on this day, or
Oof. You want to guess how many? This information is from February.
so without PC. Because I think it released on PC in like
No, 2020 February.
Yeah, but didn't it release 2020?
I think last year in November or something.
Okay, maybe I
before.
For me,
like,
time moves very weirdly now with the virus and everything.
every
so,
day feels the same.
Yeah.
No, guess like millions of copies. How much they sold till February this year?
I don't know. Like now, like okay, Spider-Man was 14 or 15 million on only PlayStation, or Animal Crossing only on the Switch in a few months, right? So this is on all consoles basically.
And PC.
Well, yeah, I don't know, like 15 million.
50.
Yeah.
29.
Okay. Oh, that's still crazy, right?
That is insane. Yes, that is a whole lot of cash.
Yeah.
And they also sell
Rockstar.
DLCs and cosmetics and stuff because it's
Yeah, I don't really play
Red Dead
online.
Online, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Like
30 million basically.
if you look at the NPD charts, like GTA is every month still one of the 5 best-selling games.
Mm-hmm.
It's insane.
Yeah, I know a lot of people roleplay on GTA still, and it's like such an old game at this point on.
Speaking of massive games, I have nothing to contribute to this, but Valorant's release and the Metacritic score is at 83. It got a 90 from IGN. How do you feel about it? You tested it, right?
Yeah, I played the beta a lot
Mm.
because I like multiplayer shooters. I'm really bad at shooters, but I enjoy playing them. Okay, I'm not really bad. I would say I'm slightly above average, but not like great, right?
Yeah, well, if I had to play, I
Yeah,
would
I
be
would-
baby level.
Yeah, probably. Also, with controller, I can't even imagine. Yeah. So.
What is this weird keyboard controller?
Wait, so yeah, it's if you played Counter-Strike or you heard of Counter-Strike probably,
Yeah, of course.
it's like a round-based tactical game, but it also is mixed with like Overwatch, so a bit of like arcadey style with abilities and stuff.
How much Overwatch is it actually?
How much the game is similar to it, or
Yeah.
Well, it's like a super strict format of Overwatch, I would say.
So they streamline it a lot, or
It's like in Overwatch you have like tanks and DPS,
yeah.
and in this game you have like 3 abilities with each champion, but it's more about shooting than the abilities. While Overwatch, it's a lot about the characters and the abilities. So,
so
it's,
basically they have like specialized characters that can only do these specific things, and in Valorant it's more like you have a gun and then you have abilities that just help you. But
Yeah,
they
exactly.
don't really like rock, paper, scissors each other.
no, it's not about the abilities, because in like Overwatch, like you can be a tank that can like tank like thousands of damage. And doesn't matter if you get headshot, doesn't matter anything. In Valorant, you get headshot, you're dead. So
Yeah.
no matter what your abilities are.
A lot of people on Twitch streaming it right now. It's like one of the most streamed games ever.
Yeah, Riot Games. Hello, League of Legends, Valorant. What's next? Runeterra, all top games like
Yeah, and
Teamfight Tactics. I don't
they're
know.
working on a beat 'em up as well.
Yeah, is this the project like new?
Didn't they had like a press conference where they announced like 5 games that
Oh yeah, they actually said that they are having a lot of games coming out. But
yeah, exactly. Then they announced the genres, just not the names, right?
Okay,
and
yeah,
one of the
I-
genres was like something like Tekken, like a beat 'em up.
interesting. I didn't really look into that, but
I think I heard that. Oh my
could
god,
be.
am I remembering this wrong?
it could be. I have no idea. Like you're probably right, because I'm more. I don't really care about news that much. I'm usually more like, hey, I just wait until Valorant is out and like actually play it.
Yeah. So they're working on a team shooter, beat 'em up, and now the website loads, so I can't read anymore. And a Diablo. So
Diablo
I think that means the Diablo.
mixed with League of Legends.
Yeah.
That sounds very weird because League is like a competitive, same map kind of game, but Diablo is an ARPG where you just go and slay everything that's in front of you.
I mean, a new genre isn't that bad.
Yeah,
If they create something completely from scratch, why not?
I mean, League of Legends is still like the biggest game.
Yeah,
It is the biggest game.
I know you have a love and hate relationship.
Yeah, I do, but like, isn't League still the biggest game? Like, or Fortnite? It's one of either.
I don't know.
But I'm pretty sure it's League has the most players still.
And it's been around for way longer. I think if Fortnite is around as long as League, I'm not sure if anybody's gonna still be playing it.
No.
When was the last Fortnite update that they put out? I think the
Was
last
the Blackout one? Or?
the last thing I heard from them was this weird in-game concert or something. That they
Yeah,
had.
true.
Didn't Destiny now had?
Yeah, they had just had an event like a few days ago.
Yeah, something like blew up like a ship or something.
Yeah, exactly. I don't play either Fortnite or Destiny. I played a bit of Destiny too, but not much. But yeah, they just had an event and it's pretty cool. I actually don't really like Fortnite, honestly, to be honest with you, even though I like Battle Royale games, but I just don't like third-person building games.
That's fine.
I like building games and I like shooters, but I don't
It
like...
should be technically your thing, right?
Yeah, exactly. It should be like a perfect game, but it's just not.
But you tried, right?
Yeah, of course. Like my nephew, I have a 10 years old nephew and he loves Fortnite. Like every 10 years old kid loves Fortnite.
Fair enough. Fortnite and Minecraft goes hand
Oh
in hand.
yeah, but I actually like Minecraft, so... There
Yeah,
you
of
go.
course, it's crafting and building stuff.
Exactly. And farming and having animals and going on adventures. It's great.
Oh my god.
Talking of Minecraft, they just released a Minecraft game.
Oh
called
yeah,
Minecraft
Dungeons or
Dungeon
something.
Adventures or something.
I can
Dungeons?
tell you in a minute.
Yeah, it just released last week.
Yeah.
It's like Diablo Minecraft.
Minecraft Dungeons. What exactly is Minecraft Dungeons? Question mark. It's an all-new action-adventure game inspired by classic dungeon crawlers, where you'll constantly discover new weapons and items that will help
Yeah, exactly. Diablo
you
with
defeat
Minecraft.
ruthless swarms of new and nasty mobs.
I've seen some gameplay of it and some reviews. Reviews were not so great.
Yeah, it's all middle of the road.
Yeah. But the gameplay looked kind of fun, but like something that you wouldn't play too much, honestly.
I don't know, like Minecraft, they diversified a lot in the last couple of years, right? Like since Microsoft bought the game, they had like this Telltale series of Minecraft.
Oh, I even like that story mode, yeah.
Yeah, they had dungeons. I think something in between they had as well.
Could
Yeah.
be. But the game itself is actually so good. Like, if you can get over the fact that it's like super basic graphics and like pixel art and
I mean, it's a charm, right? That's the art style.
true.
You
And
don't
but,
really have to get over it. I think it's just, yeah, it's the appeal of the game.
but now the RTX support with ray tracing actually makes the game look really nice.
All those nice water effects.
Yeah, I mean they are great. I mean they are really pretty. I have it and it's really nice. And you should play Minecraft if you haven't already because it's a game that you can play for thousands of hours.
Yeah, he says buy Minecraft. I don't play that, so listen to him.
Well, do they even have trophies? Like, could you get like? Yeah, they do actually. So you should,
I would be shocked if
but they don't
wouldn't
have it on
trophies.
PlayStation. I'm pretty sure. Just on Xbox because it's like Microsoft exclusive, right?
No, it's not an exclusive. It's on PlayStation.
Oh no, they have Nintendo too, right?
Yeah, it's on everything.
Okay, true. It's even on phone.
When Microsoft bought Mojang, people were speculating if they maybe take it off the other consoles. But at the same time, if they would have done that, like the outrage of all...
So people have Minecraft on PlayStation. They have Minecraft on PlayStation.
Yes,
that's
they
like,
never took it off because like the outrage would have been insane. You gotta realize, right? Like the people who play Minecraft the most are like children. Well, a lot of adults
Thank
play
you.
the game. That's not what I meant. A lot of adults play the game as well, but like the biggest target group is like tons of children just buy the game because like the creativity. You can do anything in this game, which is crazy and it's really cool as well. Like I can totally see the appeal. It's just not my thing. But let's say you have a PS4 for your kid, and then the company that you liked takes
away the game. Yeah, of course. I don't think you want to take anything away. Like if you gave something to someone, then taking it away just makes it way worse.
Microsoft still like they own that company. Whatever they sell on PlayStation is money in their pocket. They don't care.
Yeah, true.
It's at some point you gotta realize Microsoft with all their services and all their stuff that they're doing. I think they're aiming to be a publisher more than a game.
But they are even working together with Sony in the cloud-based gaming system, right? Or something.
Yeah, they had like a meeting with them during the Game Awards, in which Nintendo, Sony, and Xbox came out, and they all announced that they were like going help themselves each other something.
Well, that's
I don't
good.
know.
Like, I would be all for not having exclusives anymore and just like everyone having everything, because it's a bit annoying, this war. Now it's also on PC with the Steam and Epic games, and
I mean, a lot of PlayStation
consoles.
titles are migrating right now to PC as well.
To like Horizon Zero Dawn. Can't wait.
Is it?
It's coming to PC.
Oh, yeah, I knew like Detroit Become Human and all the Quantic Dream games were like going, but I wasn't sure if the Horizon was also.
Yeah, it is, and I'm super excited because that game is actually really awesome.
I
And
mean, I
PC was
really,
just
really,
making
really
it
like exclusives because I play mostly on PlayStation, so it's just like an inner turmoil thing. But in essence, they should come over.
But
It's
like,
the
wait.
game you should look for most forward to, in my opinion, is Bloodborne
Oh, yeah, true.
because the game is so good.
Yeah, but okay, but look at it like this. Okay, like, would you feel bad if other people could also play Last of Us, like on PC or Xbox,
Yes,
but you could also play like whatever Breath of the Wild on your PlayStation?
I don't want to play that.
You don't want to. I know you want to.
I really want to play that
Oh, you
game,
want to,
but that weapon, what's it called? When the weapons
And they
break,
break all the time. Yeah.
I can't deal with that. My OCD is.
You get used to it.
Yeah, no, like, what was it? I think Oblivion had the same thing, right? In which weapons could break.
I think so. It was a long time ago.
Yeah, right. But
Yeah.
I think that game had that as well. And the way I felt about it is, I get a new cool weapon, I stash it in my backpack, never use it, use trash instead, and then I
Wow.
just have a backpack full of cool weapons that I never use because I don't want to break them.
But to be fair, the Master Sword could never break. It just goes on cooldown and then you can use it again. Wow, such spoiler.
Zelda has Master Sword. You heard it here first.
Yeah, well, yeah. And that Master Sword actually has like a quest line, which is like the most insane freaking quest line I've ever played.
Really?
So
like,
hardcore.
insane and well regret.
It's so hard.
Oh,
It's like a
difficult.
challenge. Like you can upgrade your Master Sword, and you can have to go through these challenges, and they are insanely hard. And if you fail, you just go back, and again, it's like many levels of challenges basically.
Sounds like fun. They should have added trophies to
your
Nintendo.
ca-
Maybe I would buy one.
I think they have like in-game trophies.
Yeah, but that means nothing. I want the meta. I want the Nintendo meta in which I have like an overall profile with levels.
No,
and
no, you
stuff.
play games for the games and not for the.
Speaking of
success.
games that get terrible when you play them too much to get trophies that will kill your enjoyment of games. Resident Evil, the creator said that he can never look at Resident Evil the same again after the coronavirus because of all the things that are going on right now and how it's actually affecting people.
Well,
So-
I think that's a weird take, to be honest. Like, wow, this game has to do with zombies, so all zombie games are now.
No, I think he's talking specifically about viruses and how they like affect the people and stuff.
Yeah, so wait, so we shouldn't like watch like.
No, he's not saying he's not gonna do another Resident Evil, but he said his mind on the entire matter has been changed in regards what's happening currently.
Yeah, but
So
in
what
what
he could
sense?
mean also is that, or how you could interpret it, maybe, is hey, look at all what's going on. Maybe we can include that in the next game.
Oh yeah, if he means it like, oh, now we know how it actually goes down in the world and what would happen, kinda, in a smaller scale.
Yeah, it's tricky as well though, because if they actually do that in Resident Evil 8 or whenever that's coming out, or Resident Evil 9, God knows, if they actually recreate Corona 2020, that will get massive backlash.
Yeah, but no, but like just because you have a virus in a game that spreads through the world and turns people into zombies or whatever, that's a bit different than how like you can't really connect it. I feel like.
Yeah, I think you cannot really connect it to Resident Evil specifically, I think, because like Resident Evil is about have you played any of them?
Yeah, I played the latest one even and
The
like,
3?
old one. No, like
7.
7 Biohazard or whatever.
Yeah, Biohazard 7.
Yeah, I finished that game.
Only that one or multiple ones?
I know I played some old ones, but I didn't play like the in between, and I haven't played the remakes.
Yeah, so the thing is that 7 is somewhat grounded because the last ones went off the rail.
It's very different, right? Like in general.
Yeah, it's first person. The other ones were all like third person, or earlier back in the day tank controls, in which you have like one angle of viewing and then you walk like from a room to the next,
Yeah.
and they change like the camera. It's like really terrible to play. Great game for the time. Terrible to play now. I tried them. My God. Anyway, like the Resident Evil series up to 6 was like well known for not really like diving too deep into like the virus thing and how it affects like people mentally and like all the terror that comes with it. It was mostly like, hey, this is this virus. If we put it in a plant, it grows tentacles. If we put it in a shark, it becomes a killer shark. Let's put it in a snake, then it becomes invisible.
Yeah,
it was like this over-the-top nonsense of like really cool mutations and like, hey, there's this parasite and you put it in a person's mouth and then you control him via mind control and there's tentacles growing out of him.
Yeah, but isn't that fun? Like, does it have to be realistic? No?
Exactly, that is fun. That is the charm of it. That's why, like, I'm saying that this quote might be a bit weird for Resident Evil specifically.
Because like maybe they want to ground it a bit, like make it more realistic. I don't know.
No, that like I said, they didn't say anything specifically about that. They only said that it affects their view on the IP in regards of quarantine and stuff. Look, if Naughty Dog would have said that, it would have made perfect sense. Because Last of Us 1 is like basically a character study. Because you're two random people in the world that can't make a difference and you just like bounce off other characters that tell their stories and you just push forward. In which you realize how this entire nightmare affects everybody. If they tell you, we looked at the quarantine and it's horrifying what's happening here and we were reflecting on the future of our game and the entire series moving forward, yes.
Yeah, that makes sense, yeah.
Crazy person with a fedora in a trench coat that explodes and grows that
has nothing to do with like reality at all.
Bit weird.
True. But like we will see what they do about it. Because even like Resident Evil 7, right? Like the beginning was a bit more realistic and then it like slips off into Vietnam.
It's very grounded. Like even towards the middle part with like all the insects and then the end with the tanker and the mines and all this weird bullshit. I think it's still more grounded than the other ones. Because
but especially in the beginning, it's very grounded.
Yeah.
Like you can, it could happen almost.
It's Texas Chainsaw Massacre or like something in the bayou.
But then it gets weird after a while.
It gets weird pretty soon. Yeah, with all the creatures in the basement and all this stuff. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but the old ones, they like nuke an entire city and turn everybody into zombies while like they jump out of a helicopter, land in the middle, be safe, and then they climb a tower in which a dinosaur mutated person.
That sounds actually really fun.
It is really over the top and crazy. Like Resident Evil is such a fun, weird series.
Yeah, we'll probably like play the games when they like all come out or something. Because they are kind of remaking all the games at this point.
I think they already announced that they're gonna remake Resident Evil 4.
Yeah, so maybe it makes sense when they are out, like I just play all in like after each other.
Yeah, they're not long either. Like Resident Evil 2 you can probably the first time get through in like 5 hours, and then the third one you can get through probably also in like 4 hours maybe.
Okay.
So it's not that bad, and they're really cool. Like the new ones are really dope.
But I get really scared of games, especially alone, so I don't know.
2 might be an issue because
I played a bit of 2.
2 is really good. They like for the longest time zombies weren't scary anymore.
True.
Because so many games use zombies and they're just cannon fodder. But in Resident Evil 2 they're just crazy scary. Because you have like limited ammo. It's like classic survival horror. They looked at what made the old games great and what worked in them. Like menu management. You can't defeat any enemy because if you sponge them full of bullets, you don't have bullets.
Exactly.
And all this stuff that just makes you more tense because you don't know what's behind the next corner, but you have to like run around the building and solve puzzles to get to like the next piece.
I actually really like the puzzle part of the games. Like I just like puzzles in general.
3 got rid of a lot of that stuff. They got rid of sections in the game from the original. They got rid of puzzles. They streamlined it and made it way more action heavy. So I think 3 is actually more up your alley because it's not as scary. But like 2 at night in the dark on a higher difficulty.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind scary. I like scary. I like being scared, but I get scared. That's the problem, you know? Like I don't know, because now I play so much Hunt Showdown that I don't know if I still get scared, because in the beginning when I played that game I was like pooping
Full
my pants.
disclosure, we work on Hunt Showdown. Just
Yeah, but I'm not really praising it or saying bad anything. I'm just saying that I was really scared of it, but then I played so much that I'm not scared at all. I don't even care, and I think that just affects like all other games too.
Yeah, I think it really depends on the game and how well they execute it as well. Like horror can only go so far. Like Dead Space back in the day. Did you ever play that?
Yeah, I played Dead Space. It was
Dead
so
Space
scary.
was.
I could barely play that game. It was so scary.
There were so many hallways that were just completely dark. Where you didn't know what was happening. Even the opening, like when you're like, technically in the tutorial, where you just
so
have to
scary.
like run down a straight hallway. Like it's insanely scary.
Amnesia. Have you ever played Amnesia?
No, I didn't.
That game was so scary. I was like having headaches from it and like nausea, and we used to play that with friends, like with 5 friends, and they were all watching and I was playing, and I think some of us crying from the game. Like it was so scary. Like we were teens, like I don't know, 13, 14. I can't remember when it came out, but like we played it together and we were all so scared. It's like it changed gaming and horror for me forever.
Oh man, I remember when like Paranormal Activity 2 came out and everybody was like, oh my god, this is gonna be the most scary thing ever. And I actually agreed to go in the cinema with people. Dude, I was like falling asleep.
Yeah, that doesn't do it for me either. But I mean, horror movies don't do it for me at all, weirdly. I don't get scared of movies, but I'm scared of games.
The problem is a lot of horror movies these days just rely on jump scares and like really weak premises that make no sense and it's just boring.
But I mean, like if it's a jump scare that something just jumps out of a door and very loud sound, then you're not really getting scared, you know? You're not really scared. Like a jump scare is not even a scare, you know what I mean? Like you don't actually get, like in a game you get really scared because you have to run away from it or whatever.
Yeah,
but in a movie it's like, oh, they made a jump scare, great.
It really depends on the investment that you have with the characters. Like in a game you control the main characters, so you obviously immediately are more in the game.
Yeah, like you are the character, right? So.
But in the movie, if they like a lot of... Alright, a good example is Alien, the original. You spend like a first half hour with the crew just to get to know the characters before anything happens at all. And in Alien Covenant, for example, that came out like 2 years ago, which is like a prequel, you spend 2 minutes with the crew in which like one of the main characters just straight up dies out of nowhere, which makes no sense, and you didn't even get to meet him. Like you meet him in a YouTube video that was like marketing material before the movie came out. It like a lot of character building is actually happening, not in the movie, but in external campaigns and stuff. You spend 2 minutes with the characters and then they get picked off and you're just like, who was that?
I think the last Alien kind of movie was Prometheus.
That was the one after.
I actually liked that movie, but it was not scary. But I liked the.
No, Prometheus wasn't a horror movie technically. It was like a philosophical movie kind of.
But I don't even get scared of the first Alien movie. Like I mean, it's tense, right? But like I'm not feeling horror or scared. Like I don't think any movie do it. Like not a single movie I've seen
I think
actually scares me.
parts of that is as well, like when the movie came out, nobody knew what the creature was like.
True.
And also special effects moved so much further since back then. Like if you look at behind the scenes material, like the dude in the xenomorph suit looks really goofy.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
But camera angles, darkness, and how you like
Make it look cool.
frame stuff helps a lot with that.
You know what's the scariest thing? Playing VR horror games.
I can imagine.
That's actually really freaking scary.
There was this weird exclusive on PlayStation. I don't know what it was called, like Far Side or Far Point. It's like a first-person shooter on Mars or like some alien planet that looks like Mars. And there was like a cave full of spiders. And you had like this, like everybody on the internet was xenophobia. It's not xenophobia, what is it?
No, I mean like arachnophobia.
Yeah, exactly, that one. Like they were freaking out because these spiders were just like pouring out of all these things, and
ooh, that's disgusting.
pretty bad. Yeah. All right. So last topic that we have that we wanted to talk about is the cancelled Avengers game.
Yeah,
Did you actually look at it?
I looked at the game when they announced it and showed like stuff from it, and it looked really cool. And I was like, I even seen gameplay. I'm pretty sure from the game, right?
All right. So you didn't look at it?
No, like I looked at the game when it was announced.
You mean the one from Square Enix? The one on the bridge where they like fight some power things where like the helicarrier explodes.
It's been a while, I can't really remember.
Alright, so when the MCU started, they had like these weird movie tie-in games. I think Iron Man 1 and 2 got a game, Captain America got a game.
Yeah.
They were all like somewhat mediocre, but they did the trick and they like were tie-in games. Like back in the day, there were a shit ton of them. But you haven't really heard like anything about like Marvel games since then. You had like Marvel versus Capcom in the meantime.
Yeah, but it was like,
and
isn't this the game that they announced and they showed the characters and they looked different than in the movie? Isn't
No.
that? Okay, that's a different.
That's why I'm telling you the history. So
Okay.
they didn't really do anything in the meantime. But then the Avengers movie came out, and since then there haven't been any tie-ins for the games.
Okay. Yeah, they
And
had like
they
some
had
VR
like
games
these
actually.
early concept games of the Avengers, but in first person, and you could play all Avengers as a campaign.
Okay, that's cool.
And so you fly like with Iron Man and have like the blaster, and you have like rockets. With Captain America, you throw like the shield first person and do like kicks and stuff.
It sounds really cool and fun.
And they cancelled that. That's the game that this week they showed gameplay of, and it never made it to production. The one that you mean is the Square Enix one that's developed by IDOS, I think. No, it's
But that game
Crystal
was canceled,
Dynamics
right?
makes the game.
That's still coming, right?
Yeah, the people that made Tomb Raider, the reboot, and Tomb Raider, the Rise of Tomb Raider, the second one.
Yeah.
They're working on it, and IDOS is the studio that worked on Shadow of the Tomb Raider. The
I mean,
third
those
one.
games were cool. I played Rise of the Tomb Raider. I think I finished it. Shadow of the Tomb Raider I played a bunch and I have never finished it, but they were really beautiful games, especially.
Yeah, the third one looked really good with
Yeah.
like the flooding city.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the Avengers game is still on. Like they're releasing more and more footage. It's coming out this year.
Cool.
They have to. I think it's like another live service Anthem, kind of. Well, Anthem,
Whatever, it's pretty
Anthem
cool.
might be a bad example.
I like superhero games in general. Like the last one I played, like that was really Marvel superhero game. I think it was the Wolverine game. It was like 1,000 years ago, I think, but it was pretty cool.
It wasn't PlayStation 3. It was the tie-in game for the Wolverine Origins movie.
Yeah, exactly.
That was really cool. I remember like the
Pretty cool,
cutscene in the beginning where he's like completely messed up and then like grows back and stuff. It was very, very brutal and violent
Yeah.
and stuff.
But the game was very violent itself.
Yeah, I know. It was actually a good game. That was
Yeah.
like one of the only tie-in games that was actually legit good. Yeah, but the Avengers game that's coming out now, I think you have like the cutscene that they dropped on the first reveal with like the helicarrier exploding and San Francisco being in ruins, and then
Didn't they show gameplay of that game?
Yeah, they did.
Okay.
it's so weird. So the event in the trailer is before Spider-Man PS4, but then the game takes place after Spider-Man PS4.
I mean, we don't really know how they tie it all
Exactly,
together,
we don't
right?
know if they tie them in at all, but the main enemy in all of the games that they showed so far is AIM. And they have the same kind of logos. And they already announced that Oscorp is going to be featured to some capacity as well. And if Oscorp has the same logo as in the Spider-Man game, then they...
Connection.
Indeed.
That's really cool, though, no?
That is cool. That's like the cinematic universe, but...
And they make a game universe for these games that
Kinda,
tie it together.
But I think they that's so much harder though, because games have to have like gameplay and they need to be engaging and they need to be different things.
Yeah, I mean, but the other games can still
I
tie
know,
together
but
even if it's later.
production pipelines on games vary crazy.
That's
Like
true.
I think Crystal Dynamics has been on the Avengers games since Rise of the Tomb Raider, which is at least like 5 or 6 years ago.
So they did Shadow of the Tomb Raider in between, or?
No, Shadow of the Tomb Raider was made by IDOS. Those are the people who made the Deus Ex games. After Mankind Divided, they moved on to Shadow of the Tomb Raider.
Okay.
So, yeah, it's tricky. So if a game takes 6 years, you can't really do a game for like every character. Like for example, if you start out the MCU with like Iron Man 1, then Hulk, then Iron Man 2, then Thor, then Captain America, and then Avengers, you already have like 20 years in the making.
True, but like you said, that this Avengers game is more like a live service kind of stuff, so they could just have like separate stories for.
Yeah, they
all
can have like
characters in
events
one
and
game.
stuff going on.
Exactly. So that could like still like you could still have like an Iron Man storyline kind of there and like
They
go
already,
back in time or whatever.
yeah, they already announced that they have like more characters that they're gonna add on later, I think. Like right now it's like Hulk,
Captain
like
America.
Widow, Captain America, Thor, Iron Man, and Miss Marvel. I think Miss Marvel is the main character.
Okay,
She's the kid with the big hands
I
that
know.
can extend like the hands and stuff. I think the story is set up that everybody thinks the Avengers blew up San Francisco. They had to disband, and AIM took over the entire world basically with security grids, and they're looking for like metahumans that have like powers and stuff. And the because of the explosion, Miss Marvel has like powers, I think, and she's looking for the Avengers to bring them back together.
I mean, it can be fun.
And then you have like this massive valley or something where you are in a broken helicarrier and try to rebuild S.H.I.E.L.D. or the Avengers or something like that. And you pick out missions from that menu, and you can pick which character you want, and then you like do these missions in specific ways.
I mean, that sounds fun, I think, and like even the gameplay looked fun, so I feel like this.
I think it really depends how they make the different classes, the different heroes, which they basically are.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, if they have like different characters that have like really unique skills and really cool features, it's already more interesting than Anthem, because a lot of the suits just feel the same, right?
True. Like Anthem, yeah, Anthem is.
But they're redoing Anthem, right? They had like an announcement this week as well, in which they mentioned that it might take a bit longer for them because they're building it from the ground up.
Yeah, I heard too, but like I don't know, like I feel like Anthem is like, it's hard to save that game.
Yeah, there's not a good foundation. Like as bad as Rainbow Six Siege was, or Battlefront, or No Man's Sky, at least they all had like unique things about them that people like really latched onto. I just feel Anthem is like a cool world, the idea is neat, but like everything else just kind of falls apart.
Yeah, it's so weird because I was really excited for Anthem when they announced it and showed the gameplay videos, and then it turned out to be nothing like that.
Yeah, there was this big expose, right?
Yeah, exactly. Like it was nothing like what they showed it will be, which you shouldn't do at all. Like you can have like cinematic trailers, which is not gameplay, but then you shouldn't show gameplay, which is completely different than how the game is. And then I actually have Anthem. I got it for free with my graphics card, I think, or something, and never even played it.
Well, I mean, you can play it until next time and tell me how bad it is, or like they added a bunch of updates since launch, right? So
Yeah, but it's also like an online game, right? And I'm playing it alone. Like I think I'm alone.
I think you can play it online and alone.
Okay, yeah, but like I think the main focus is that it's like with other players. But if like I don't think anyone is playing it, or if people, obviously there is probably a player base.
Yeah.
But all those people are like so far ahead that for me it would be weird to like join in. It's like an MMO, but you join at the end of the game, you know.
It's so weird why they're redoing this now.
I don't know.
I mean,
I wouldn't.
everybody loves a good redemption story, right? And for the all bunch of people who bought the game, if the game's cool and they really like the world, more power to them. Like, if their game comes out and it's dope.
No, I mean, even people who like it now, I mean, that's okay. Like, you can enjoy a game and, like, you can have different opinion. It doesn't matter. It's, like, I think I don't even hate Anthem. It's just, like, from all the drama and all the thing around it, and then the time investment and
the internet sure had its time with Anthem when it launched.
So they kind of destroyed the game, honestly.
Yeah, I think the most scary thing about it as a developer, like if you look at it that way, is PS5 and Xbox are launching soon. And they might be backwards compatible, right? But
I mean,
how many times do you look back? Well, you're a bad example. You're playing Bioshock and Dragon Age all over again.
Yeah, but it's PC. Like PC has no
I know, but
generations.
Like, I don't know. Like when PS5 launches and there's gonna be like Ubisoft already said they have 5 titles in this physical year, which like reaches to May or whatever. Like that's Watch Dogs, that's Assassin's Creed, that's like the weird skate game they already showed off. God knows when Beyond Good and Evil 2 comes out. Like that's so much content. Like so much content.
True.
Like who's gonna go back to Anthem? Like even if they fix it.
Yeah, I mean,
And it's not just No Man's Sky, they went dark for like a year and then just like
And
dropped a massive update.
it's
But they were
really
still
good.
during the same console generation.
True.
Like the people who had the game and stuck with the game still had the game. Like if you move on to the next generation of consoles, like do you bother to go back to the last
Yeah, they
generation
could
to
really,
play an
like-
outdated game that might be
Yeah,
fixed?
but
now?
they could update it, like if they know this too, right? They could update it for new gen. Like they could make, hey, we release Anthem. You can play it on old consoles, but like it will be super mega enhanced for the new consoles, and it's already built into it. So it's like a new game, but in the old, and you don't even have to rebuy it. Like that
I
would be
know.
like a kind of redemption for it, right?
Yeah, true. But you also gotta think, right, as a publisher, like is it worth it?
I mean, I wouldn't like Anthem. I feel like it just died so much. It was like not even like Hello Games with
Yeah, Hello Games with No Man's
No Man's
Sky.
Sky, because they were a small team, kind of small team.
I think there were like 5 or 6 people.
Yeah, exactly. And then they had like they got super big support for the game, and then the launch kind of failed, and then they had a lot of drama, but they still worked on the game because it was their game, right? But like it's a bit different story with Anthem. Like there's like I wouldn't try to revive that much, even if you add a shit ton of things. I feel like people will just won't go back to that game. Like what do you want?
I think the shift in the generation is the biggest hurdle. And then you also gotta think like, right, how are you gonna sell it?
Yeah,
Like the people who bought the game already bought the game. Like if you add a free update for the people who are still playing, they don't get any money out of it. And if they charge for it, then people are gonna be frustrated and scream.
Well, they could do something like Overwatch 2, maybe, where you still have the game, but like you unlock new things in it, right?
Yeah, but if you have the game and alright, so let's assume that when it launches, right, the next is the what is it? The Anthem next. When they launch Anthem next, and they give you like all these high HD graphics for all the base players, and then you have to pay for the additional content. Isn't the game still broken then?
I mean, like, look, like they could, like Anthem is not like Overwatch where you like shoot people, so you could just like fix like a big patch for the base game, like, oh, we added these things, we fixed all that, like it's like they change gameplay mechanics, they change story, they change quests, they can do all that, and then add like a bunch of extra content which you can also buy, like Anthem 2 or whatever, like you said, next Anthem next, whatever, like then you get all that new content.
No, I think it's actually called Anthem Next.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Okay, so like you get all that new content.
Yeah, big update for Anthem Next.
See, like you could get all the new content on your new console, and it's almost like a new game. And you also get like the old stuff, but like if you don't want to buy the new game, you can still play the old stuff, but it's also updated with the new gameplay mechanics for the old things, which fix a lot of problems.
Yeah,
I think they could do something like that, and then people who like the game already would probably buy the new version, right? Because they want to play the new content, and the new players will have something to go to it too. Like they're okay, we can buy Anthem now, and it has a bunch new content. It's all the old content is reworked, and I can play both for if I just buy the game. So I think that would be the way to do it, and then it would actually make people happy too, because they actually put in the effort and fix stuff.
Yeah, that's the biggest point for them, right? They need to make people happy, because the issue that they have is that a lot of people lost trust in BioWare as a
Completely, yeah.
developer. So they kind of need to fix this. And so the current status is that they have a smaller development team that is onto the next update project or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But they also said it's going to take longer than they expected. And the game came out last year in like February, March or something. So it's been already over a year. And it's probably going to take, if they say now it's taking longer than expected, then I'm not even sure if the update drops before the launch of the next generation.
Yeah, but they also know this, right? Like they probably know that the new next gen is right here, and they will most likely have to update it to next gen. Like,
but don't you think at that point it might just be better just to say like, hey, we fucked up? and then just deliver.
Yeah, but how do you know that it's not almost a new game?
Move all the people, all the assets that they have, move it all to the next Dragon Age game, Dragon Age 4 or whatever,
That would sell,
and kick ass and make a really cohesive, good product that shows that Mass Effect Andromeda and Anthem Next or whatever are just a blunder.
Well, yeah, I mean, that would make a lot of sense. But at the same time, if they are actually working on it and it's like looking good, like they probably have faith in it. Like they would can it if it was not good. Like they would say, okay, this game, like it just doesn't make sense to work on it anymore. Then let's just can the whole thing.
How many people do you think actually know who made Anthem? Like out of
doesn't everyone kind of know? I don't know.
Yeah, you know, but you also work in the game industry, so do I. But I mean, like just a random Jane Doe or whatever on the street who looks at Anthem and the appeal, like they don't know who made the game.
Well, I think they may, because like BioWare is like one of the most well known, like because of Mass Effect and like basically because of Mass Effect.
But you still gotta wonder, like people know Mass Effect as a brand, as a game.
So they don't know it's BioWare? I'm not sure. Like I feel like, I mean, okay, it's hard to tell what others think, but I feel like Anthem was like, hey, this is another game by BioWare, so it has to be a good game. Even though Andromeda was, I think it was not so bad. Like people said, it was not perfect. Obviously, it didn't live up to Mass Effect. It was still an okay game. So I was like, oh shit, then this has to be their redemption for that. And it's gonna be an awesome game. So that's why I connected it with BioWare.
What's the movie you watched recently that you really, really, really liked?
Recently.
Yeah.
Like really, really, really like that. The last movie okay, right now I rewatched all the Dark Knight movies and I really like them.
So who published them as a studio?
I don't know, Warner Bros.
That's right.
Hey.
Lucky. But still, like you realize, right? Like
I was not even 100% sure of that.
Exactly, but you really like those movies.
Yeah, true. But at the same time, I feel like it's a bit different with movies and games.
Yeah, you're more attached to games because you spend more time with them, and you also see like every time you start the game, the logo.
Exactly, it's way more free. Like you watch a movie once a year, and that's it, right?
Yeah.
And then you see that one pop up, which I even skip because I watch it on Netflix. Usually, I just skip the whole thing. So.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's tricky.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we both probably have some valid arguments. Let's see how they roll it out.
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited to see what happens, and if they cancel it, then I guess we can look for a new Dragon Age.
I mean, we can look forward to
new
that
Mass Effect
anyway.
game, the redemption of Mass Effect Andromeda, Mass Effect 4. Thank you.
Yeah, that probably will launch when Skyrim, the next Elder Scrolls launches in like 2025 or 26 or something.
Yeah, I think I'm the most hyped game for me, even more hyped than Cyberpunk is. Elder Scrolls. What is it has a name already, right?
6.
No,
they had some leaks, but they're not confirmed.
Okay, well, I'm most excited for that because Skyrim and Oblivion were like my go-to 1,000-year-old games that I always played.
What's the head of?
And I don't really like Elder Scrolls Online.
What's the head of Bethesda? Pete Hines or something?
I don't know the head. Like
Bethesda.
Todd Howard is the.
Yeah, that's the Bethesda Game Studios direct.
Yeah, I don't know who you exactly mean.
Head of Bethesda, no, it's Todd Howard.
See, I still have hope in Bethesda, even though what they did in the last 2 years.
Well,
I really have hope for Elder Scrolls. If they fuck that up, then I'm done.
Didn't the Wastelanders DLC help like Fallout 76 a lot?
I mean, if you can save that game, I guess. I don't know.
I think I heard a lot of good things. Like before it was just a grind through and through, but
they added NPCs, I think?
Yes, they added NPC with the Wastelander expansion, and when you start the game now, you actually talk to NPCs, they bring you to a bar, and then you have like a bunch of quest lines.
Who would have known that if you have NPCs in a game, that would make it better?
Who could have thought of that?
Yeah.
Yeah, anyway, so the head of Bethesda gave like an interview, and people asked him about like Elder Scrolls, and he said like, guys, can we not, because the next game that we're launching...
Is that a new game, isn't it?
I don't even know the name.
Isn't it a space game?
Yeah, it's
like Mass Effect by Bethesda game.
More like... Yeah, it's...
Isn't it Starfield or something?
Starfield, yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
God, I can't even remember the damn name. But had it basically said like relaunching Starfield first, so we should focus on that.
Yeah, but everyone wants...
Like Elder Scrolls is way out.
I know. But like, at the same time, why don't they just make a new Elder Scrolls? Like everyone, like Skyrim is... Okay, I guess they still selling Skyrim on everything still to this day. Here's the VR version of Skyrim. Oh, here's the enhanced edition of Skyrim. Buy this, buy that. And then you have Skyrim like 10 times. Oh, Skyrim on Switch, Skyrim whatever. And you have Skyrim everywhere. You bought the game 10 times, so might as well just not make a new one because they can still sell the old.
The Elder Scrolls Online just had a new expansion called Greymore, which is also based in Skyrim.
Yeah, so Elder Scrolls Online, I was mentioning it just for a millisecond, but I can't get into the game. It's like, it's not the same. It's weird. Like, I really like MMOs actually, but like, I can't get into Elder Scrolls Online for some reason.
But it's good for Bethesda to like diversify their IPs. If they're just stuck on Elder Scrolls and Fallout forever, I mean, we had 2 Fallout games right after another, and you like
I think that's even weird.
That's like people are still playing Skyrim because the world is so massive and so intricate.
True, but like why wouldn't they just like what I would have done is like okay, have Fallout 4, then have Skyrim, then maybe a new, I mean not Skyrim, but like the Elder Scrolls next game, and then have maybe a new when you have the new Elder Scrolls game which everyone plays forever anyway, then you can start a new brand.
Look at it this way. So BioWare shed the bed so hard with the last 2 releases of theirs, especially Mass Effect. Imagine you get a Mass Effect type of game from Bethesda that's really good and really like Skyrim, but also Mass Effect-ish.
True, I mean it sounds cool.
How dope would that be?
True, but
and then when you're done with that game, you can look forward to the Elder Scrolls and a whole new world for that.
True, but I would just play Elder Scrolls and stuff. Like if I want to play Mass Effect games, then I play Mass Effect.
Yeah, well, it's not
we
Mass
play
Effect.
Mass Effect 1 to 3 anytime, all the time, infinitely. It's
seriously?
Yeah, and like there is a bunch of space kind of games, always I think.
What is Star Citizen? It's like still in development since a billion years.
Star Citizen, yeah. I mean, I haven't tried that, but it was cool.
I think there was a Ubisoft game with like some Skylander action figures that you could shoot stuff with. What other? The Outer Worlds came out
Exactly,
recently.
that's pretty new, and it's like Fallout and space game.
Yeah, but we will never get that again on PlayStation.
What do you mean?
Well, the studio was bought up by Xbox.
Oh, yeah, that's how you mean. I thought like, yeah. But that game is actually pretty cool.
Yeah,
from what I've seen. Maybe.
Which is a good transition because it actually released on Switch.
Yeah, it just released this week. And it looks kind of decent. The textures are pretty muddy and ugly, but
yeah,
it's still a huge game on the Switch.
It got pretty okayish reviews as well.
Yeah, I watched Digital Foundry's tech view on it, the whole thing, and like it looks like a Switch game.
Yeah, there's not really anything else to mention this week as of releases.
There was a bunch of collections on Switch, like the BioShock collection released on Switch.
Yeah,
right?
We mentioned that before. Yeah, the BioShock collection.
Well, we mentioned
released,
the game, but not the release.
Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition released. The Outer Worlds released on Switch. Mortal Kombat Aftermath released. Minecraft Dungeons, which we talked about.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much it for like the big releases. Like we can talk about Tour de France 2020, but like how much do you know and how deeply do you care?
Well, I'd rather bike in real life, I think. But are there any upcoming games for the next few weeks?
I think we can talk about that in the next podcast.
Okay, yeah, that's good. Sounds good.
Yeah, so this was a lot of ups and downs. We had topics laid out, but I think we also drifted a bit.
Well, I think that's okay. It's a podcast.
I think we can keep it a bit tighter and maybe have a bit more topics that we go through quicker instead of like leaning on stuff for too long. But I think this was a good first thing and also a good introduction just to like get our dynamics down.
Yeah.
Meet the cat. Spooky.
Yeah, but it was fun. Like.
Yeah. We're definitely gonna keep trying and gonna do the next one.
Like it's easy to talk for a long time.
Yeah, it's because we're such good friends. And in 2 weeks we have The Last of Us to talk about.
Oh, that will be fun because you will probably finish it before me.
Yeah, it's gonna be another session of like, let's try not to spoil it for the internet. So
Oh, you're right.
just draw it in like really broad strokes.
Well, I guess we could make like a spoiler version even, like have a part where it's like, hey, this is spoiler version.
I think we
Don't
could
watch.
probably do an entire
Yeah.
spoiler cast on it if we wanted
Yeah,
to.
sure, sounds good. Big enough release.
If Naughty Dog, all the games, anything to go by, there's probably a shit ton of to talk about. And you can actually let me know what was leaked, if the leaks panned out,
Oh, that will be a fun topic.
and
yeah.
how the leaks actually do reflect onto the game, because it's always different when you hear it and how.
Yeah, and I
they
can
present
actually
it.
like let you know like how I felt about the leaks and how I felt about them after I played it. That's like actually super interesting.
Yeah, I'm really curious about that, to be honest. Huh. Yeah.
Check online, Max.
No.
Well, anyway, guys, I think that's it for today. I don't know when you're watching it, but thank you for being here, and it was nice to meet you, and hope you will come back. So we will also have this in audio version on all the platforms, I think, almost.
All the platforms.
And maybe this video version won't be for a while, or I'm not sure yet. We will see. But we will definitely have the audio versions even during these quarantine times. But after that, we will be back to the video format for sure.
Yeah, work out the kinks, try to get it all done.
And now I will send this video to Max to edit it. So 2 hours or something. Have fun, Max.
No, it's not 2 hours. I think we have like 1.5 for now, and then plus the intro. Yeah.
Well, anyway,
That
thank
was-
you.
It
And
was good. It was fun actually.
yeah, it's
So let's see how we're gonna keep going. And if there's any corrections, if we have listeners or something, you can write in on raweffect@gmail.com. Let us know if you have like any suggestions, questions, or mistakes that we made. We can read them out on the show next time.
yeah, and answer anything you have to ask about us or about games or opinions or whatever.
Yeah.
We can answer all that. So thank you for watching, and then I guess we are back next time, which is in a week or so.
Yeah. We should make this a weekly thing. That's, I think, like a good goal.
Yeah,
Because-
if we do audio version, it's way easier. If video, that will be a bit more difficult now, but yeah, we will see. And
Yeah. All right.
And let us know how you like our logo, because he's still designing it. So as of right now.
Hell.
Well, see you guys, and bye.
Bye.